update 55977.4. The expedition is currently conducting a planetary survey of a cluster of planets and a nearby star system. Well, sorry, a cluster of star systems in the Minerva sector. I have taken command of the flyer, leaving Commander DeGrasse in charge of the expedition while we divide up for the scans of the different systems to expedite the planetary surveys. This is a good opportunity for DeGrasse to get some command experience in the center chair, in hopes that he will further progress in his career and captain's love.
Okay. So, what I've decided to do was I'm going to have all the senior staff minus DeGrasse and the doctor. You're basically all on the Alpha Flyer, surveying one of the systems in this cluster, kind of expedite the scanning process. Um, so you are probably a few minutes out from dropping out of warp in the system. So I figure this would probably be an excellent time for any free role play while you are on the flyer. Yeah, like I said, you are a few minutes out from the system, maybe a few hours in the flyer. And it's pretty much set to be a standard recon mission, planetary survey mission. So I'll open the floor to you guys.
Hey, you said it was everyone except DeGrasse is in it?
Correct.
Okay.
He got left behind.
It would have, if the doctor would have been here, I would have only had 3 on here and then 3 on the other ship. But because the doctor dropped, I'm like, okay, I'll just add 1 more. And then the thing DeGrasse is doing is on the ship. Sorry, DeGrasse.
Lieutenant Inan, see if you can find us a nearby planetary body for us to begin our survey.
Hi, Captain.
Go ahead and just give me a quick reason science difficulty 1 roll. Oh wow. Well, the one's not a crit miss, but it's still a 19.
Oh no. Oh right, because I have the wrong complication range selected. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's still 1 complication and a failed roll.
Oh, the dice hate me. Okay.
I
Well,
mean, it's the best time to get that out of the way, I guess.
I mean that's fair.
Nadon, your sensors are picking up some interference from the local star system. The sun's giving off heightened radiation field, so it's hard to get a better scan until you get closer.
Uh, Captain, there's some interference from the radiation from the local star. I'm not able to pick anything up at this time.
Lieutenant Medrak, do you think Commander Medrak, do you think you can recalibrate the sensors? We can better pick up planets. I really would hate to run into something.
I have see about recalibrating the sensor.
Go ahead and give me a control engineering. Diff 2.
Let's see. See, computers is a focus.
No.
All right.
Right, you pass. Nadon, your sensors are clearing up. I'm going to post you something really quick. If I could find where you are.
Captain, Commander Mendrock's recalibration seems to have helped clear up the interference. The star is a G-type star, and there appear to be 10 planets. We'll need to get into the system for more detailed scans.
Very well. I will begin setting a course for the closest system, or the closest planet.
All right, Captain. Let's go ahead and give a reason or insight con to plot the course. Piloting is pretty easy. It's just the plotting the course. Just diff 1. Assisted by computers con.
Oh, shit, no help.
Okay. Gain a momentum at least. And plot laid in.
And yeah, I just punched in and off we go.
All right. It probably takes you about another half hour to get to the system. And you get to the system and you drop out of warp at the edge of the system. That's not how the Delta Flyer sounds dropping out of warp. We'll go with it though. And you are in the system.
Setting course for the nearest planet. Let me know, Lieutenant, on the latitude you wish to have for the sensors.
Sorry, please repeat, Captain. I didn't get that last part.
What latitude would you wish to be at for the scan? Equator it is.
That heading sensible to me.
Maybe heading 120, Captain?
Understood. I will bring you into a close orbit.
All right, now Don, go ahead and give me a reason science diff 1 to scan the planet, assisted by ship's sensor signs.
Okay, good. At least the dice are no longer hating me.
Sometimes you just got to get that one roll out of the way. I just need the sensor signs. And Nadan, the planet you are currently scanning is it's a small rocky planet. There's no atmosphere, no signs of life. It's pretty barren. It's pretty dull. Imagine like what a planet beyond the Kepler belt would be. That's pretty much it. Maybe there's an ice deposit or two, but it's pretty insignificant.
So, if I hear that correctly, sorry, you were a little distorted on my end. Nothing too significant with this one.
Correct. Yeah, it's basically a rocky planet. Maybe an ice patch or two. That's about it.
Okay.
Rather small. Half the
Yep.
size of our moon. Small.
So more of a planetoid. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so Captain, this is a small planetoid, rocky in nature. Nothing too significant about it. I would suggest we move on to the next one.
Understood. Plotting course.
All right. So the Alpha Flyer moves on to the next planet in line, and this planet appears to be mostly like a icy planet, and it has like a reddish hue in some of the ice. Like maybe like probably like an iron rust type thing had it on top of the ice. At least it was what it looks like without sensors.
Oh. When we get within sensor range, I'll scan it more closely.
All right. Go ahead and give me that same roll. Gain 2 momentum that time. So yeah, this planet is it's actually it's like a icy methane planet. The ice that you see is actually like iced over methane. And yeah, it's pretty much like like a the reddish color is like from a rock or like a oxidized rocky substance in it, whatever.
Oh,
Words escaping me.
it's kind of like uh, a kind of like Pluto, like
Yeah.
methane ice with chondrites in it.
Yep. Pretty much.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I will say that to Captain Prax. This planet is also a relatively small planetoid. Some very primitive looking inclusions and mostly methane ice, Captain.
Where's my popcorn? Casey, your console after Nadan gives that report start beeping.
Captain, I'm detecting an unusual energy signature from the fifth planet.
Can you specify, or do we need to move in closer?
We'll need to move closer to get a more accurate reading, sir.
Mendrak, are you picking up any subspace or radio transmissions in the system?
No, sir. Not picking up anything, Captain.
Well, I don't know how you feel about scanning rocks and ice. Say we head over to investigate and plot a course.
And it takes you a few minutes to head over to the fifth planet. And Captain, you expertly put it in a high orbit, just high enough to get the scan, to be in range of the scans. This one is going to be a difficulty 2.
Lieutenant Knock, can you get some more accurate scans?
Aye, Captain. Is it the same role, Jim?
Yeah, but this one's a difficulty 2.
Okay. Sorry, roll 20 decided to freeze up on me, so I had to reload.
No worries.
I will spend a momentum to get 1 extra die.
Then we just need the shuttle, which I think the captain rolled.
Yep. Total
Okay,
4
so yeah.
successes.
Yep, so you gain 2. I gotta adjust that just a little bit. Just had to edit nest somewhere.
Captain, we've found, I think, the energy buildup we were looking for. It's an class planet, approximately 50% water, little bit drier than some planets, mostly grassland as a result. The energy buildup is coming from an area on the night side of the planet, and there appear to be life forms near the energy buildup.
What sort of energy buildup?
Casey, that's coming from your console.
Is that the um hailing noise?
No, that is your console giving you a warning.
Okay, I will look at the warning. What is warning me on?
It does not appear to be technological, Captain. Um, Analyzing to determine more.
I gotta go back to my notes. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make you roll for this, Casey. I can't give you this for free. I'm gonna spend threat 2. I'm gonna give you a reason or insight with security difficulty 3. It's just by sensor security.
Insight securities difficulty 3. Okay. Do any of my focuses apply? Observation, maybe.
Yeah, I'll take observation.
Okay. Sorry, was there a complication range? I missed that.
No, just normal.
Okay. I'll spend a threat and 2 momentum since we have it. Well, that was phenomenal. 15, 16, 16, 15.
Do you let it ride?
I have 1 reroll. But I don't think that I mean that can't even save me if I got a crit, so I guess yeah.
Use determination to re-roll it.
I just have a feeling I'm gonna want it later in the episode, but yeah, I could.
I can also
I'm not
give you
sure
my
what
determination
value.
too.
I'm not sure what value I would spend it under.
Let me take a look.
Ever goes according to plan.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
All right. I will reroll.
Right, get 1 momentum out of it.
Ship assist. Oh, well, yeah. Flyer assist.
Yeah. Sensor security.
Well, we get 3 momentum, don't we? If I read that right.
You actually get 3.
Hmm. Captain, there's an energy pulse coming from the planet that was just scanned. It will intercept us in 7 seconds.
I'm gonna do evasive maneuvers.
Go ahead and give me those evasives.
Shields up.
I'd answer that question, Nadon, but that is happening right now.
That's fair.
What's the roll?
Oh fuck! What is it? Is it daring? Daring
Daring.
con? Is that what the roll is?
Yeah, it's usually daring con, but is there a difficulty?
Let me see here. I gotta figure out those bases. I gotta get to my sheets. Let's see. Evasive action. Base difficulty is 1. The thing is really big, so I'll make it a diff 2. We'll go daring con difficulty 3. Assisted by structure con.
I will spend 3 momentum. Roll 4 dice. Yeah, okay, no focus. Okay, can I spend my determination to reroll 3 on the value can't be afraid of the wind?
Yep. Come on, 3 complications. Oh, boo.
4.
Gain of momentum. All right, so the energy pulse comes from that spot in the planet, but as it heads out past the atmosphere, it starts to spread out over a wide area. Kind of forming like kind of forming into a wave. You try your best to evade it, and you are able to get out of the brunt of the wave. However, the effect of the pulse does knock out your engines, and because of your evasive maneuvers, you are caught in the planet's gravity, and you are starting to be pulled toward the planet. Because of your dodging effect, you do still have main power and thrusters available. But your impulse engines have been knocked out. Or sorry, you still have main power available, but all your engines have been knocked out. I got to rephrase that. And you estimate that you are going to hit the planet's surface in about 6 intervals.
Mendrock, give me something to thrusters, anything, so we can do a hard landing.
I Captain.
Okay, so Mendrock, to get thrusters back online.
I'll
this
assist
is
them if I can.
so this is because you're at a different console. I don't think you'll be able to assist looking at sensors. Because he's basically going to be trying to reroute from his. So I'm not going to allow your assist. So Mendrock, this is going to be daring or control with engineering, difficulty of 2.
All right. Well, I have all the right talents for tasks. I will buy a 3rd die. And I have EPS systems and 1 for mechanics as a focus.
I don't think
Those
it's
work?
actually. See, it's not going
Well,
to be warp core because you're trying to get thrusters.
EPS work.
I think I'll take EPS. Yeah,
All right.
trying to reroute power from places.
I can reroll that with cautious.
Man, I'm getting the effects, but guys are just rolling
Oh,
past them.
push the button one too many times.
Yeah, I'll just take the first one. You gain a momentum out of that. And it's a good thing you had caution.
He has meticulous, so you could technically ignore the complication.
Oh, not too, but yeah.
Yeah, he had the reroll. So Mendrock, you are able to get limited thrusters engaged. Now the question is, do you let 2 intervals pass or 1?
Well,
We'll spend the 1 to.
yeah.
All right. So you start, you're probably at the very edge of the atmosphere. You're just starting to hit it. When Mendrock says he got you limited thrusters, but not enough to get you back in the orbit. But you at least have maneuvering thrusters now.
Lieutenant, find us a place to set down. Essentially creating an advantage to make our landing.
Yep. Go ahead and give me. This is going to be reason and either con or science. Difficulty 2. You could be. Now the systems are pretty much out. So yeah, I won't allow an assist from the ship, but you could try to find a place. Nadon's still there.
What was the question? Sorry.
The captain wants you to find a good place to land. So this would be reason with your con or science score difficulty 2.
Spending a momentum.
All right. You gain a momentum back. Yeah. So, with your beginning scans, this planet's pretty much a flat grassland. And you did find like a large open plain. That's on the light side of the planet. So, you're going to basically fly right into it with your orbit.
All right. I will transfer the path over to the captain's console. Recommend this landing zone, Captain.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And I'm going to ease her down so we have at least a nice soft landing to a degree.
Okay. So you at this point you'd still have 3 intervals left before you have to make the roll. So is there anything else you want to do on the way down?
Can we do a scan to figure out what hit us?
I was going to do that, so I can do that now.
Yeah, you can. It's your intervals. This is going to be a reason or insight with science. Base difficulty is 3, but I'm going to spend some threat to make this a difficulty 4 because you're trying to do this really quick.
Right. Ah. Does my focus in improvisation apply?
You'd have to explain that one to me.
Mainly just due to the time crunch and not being able to take the normal methodical approach to analysis.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. Um, how much momentum would it be to get 2 extra dice?
All 3.
Okay, I'll do that.
Damn, you get a momentum back.
Thank goodness.
It's half the interval.
Okay, so you got 2 intervals left, which is enough to land.
Oh, we have to use the 2 intervals to land? Oh,
Yeah, basically.
okay.
You need to have 1 roll to land. Otherwise, you crash. You need to have a con roll in there to try to not,
What's
hit
the,
like a rock into the planet.
what's the roll?
It's probably going to be during con. With all the advantages you set up, it'll probably just be like a diff 2.
Is the flyer assisting?
Yeah, because you did get thrusters on.
I think hot rod applies. So it's a difficulty 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my joint talent to gain the focus in small craft.
Sure.
And then I want to use my Starcraft medal to double the focus range, and I'll give you 1 threat.
I do enjoy threat.
Well, that's 4 successes, so I can squash the complication. Because the 1's an 8, which
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can use it to squash. Just need the shuttle. Okay. Captain, you are able to use the power of the maneuvering thrusters to rather gently land on the planet, as in basically you don't, the landing does not cause any more damage to the ship. You're able to kind of glide it in and kind of land it like an airplane on the on the planes. The grasses are rather tall, so that they come up. The grasses probably reach up maybe 5 to 6 feet. So part of the grass is covering the windows and sides, so it very looks like you're in grassland. But you all appear to be fine. There's no explosions, there's no fires. All the systems appear to be it seems to be a pretty easy fix to get the shuttle back going. Given you were just hit with a beam.
all right, Commander Medrock. Begin assessment of all the damage needs to be fixed.
I haven't.
Captain, there appears to be another energy buildup on the daytime side of the planet occurring. Seems to be happening from the plant-like species around us.
Let's turn off all ship systems until the wave passes. Is it going to? Well, first of all, is it going to hit us?
I'll use that for my free question if I get one.
Well, you get one for your position. Um,
Okay.
so what is?
I'll use if it's is it going to hit us as the free question.
Given that you're not too sure of the nature of the beam, you're not really sure yet.
All right. Second question. If I have to do a roll or whatever, I will. By the plant-like species, you mean the grass-like material?
I will give this to you for free. It is not the grass. It is a separate species that you just detected on your scan down.
Okay. So it's not the grass. All right. Can I set up like passive scanning of the energy buildup to see what its nature is in terms of the type of energy pulse and whether it appears to be just a natural phenomenon on this planet or directed somehow?
Yeah. You could go ahead and set up that scan. I'm actually going to head to the expedition.
Yeah.
Some time is going to pass. So, Mendrock, I'll have, you'll run your diagnostics. Nadan, you'll start setting up your scans. The captain, Casey, let me know what you guys are doing while they're doing that. And we're going to head to the expedition, where I believe, DeGrasse, you have a log to read as well.
Acting Captain's Log, Stardate 55977.4. The expedition is currently on a mission to conduct planetary surveys of planets around clusters of various star systems. In order to quickly scan the clusters, several shuttles were dispatched to conduct full and complete scans of the systems. Curiously, once Admiral Holland had requested to board the expedition, the captain decided to make herself scarce and command the flyer, while I was left in charge of impressing the admiral and showing him around. And acting captain's log.
Commander, the Potemkin is dropping out of warp.
Open a channel.
Channel open.
This is Commander DeGrasse of the USS Expedition. Welcome, Potemkin.
And then you see I didn't actually look for an image. You see Admiral Holland on the screen. Trying to see if I could find a good image of him.
Gotcha.
One I like, I should say. They're either, the ones I see are either too old or not old enough. I think that one worked. So he kind of looks like that gentleman, DeGrasse, you know him from your academy days. He's probably in his late 90s. He's kind of hunched over. Hey, Bar. Nice to see you again, my boy.
Ollie, Admiral Holland, it's a pleasure to see you as well. How have you been?
I am good, Commander. How's your new assignment treating you?
Well, I have to say it's been a trip so far. Excellent ship, excellent crew. I've learned a lot.
That's good to hear. Good you're still learning out here. If, with your permission, Commander, I'd like to come aboard. I have something to discuss with you.
By all means, absolutely.
I'll meet you in your transporter room in about 30 minutes. These old bones don't seem to move like they used to.
Well, no worries. Make sure to take care of yourself. I'll see you there.
Admiral Holland out. And the screen goes back to the starfield. And the image of his Excelsior class, because of course it is.
DeGrasse will hide a bit of a smile, look around the bridge, and who is the ranking officer besides me on the bridge? Is that Knight?
That's a good question.
Looks like we got 2 ensigns.
Let's see. Orgel's an ensign. Knight's a lieutenant junior. Yeah, I think it's Knight.
So DeGrasse says, Lieutenant Knight, you have the bridge.
Aye, Commander.
And he'll make his way to the transporter.
So many screens and tokens. All right, Commander, you head down to the transporter room. You know, after about 25 minutes or so.
Sure. Well, Matthews, are we ready?
The Admiral is signaling ready, sir.
Energize.
I gotta find my transporter. And appears the Admiral, decked out in like his old Admiral style uniform. It doesn't fit as good as it used to, at least how you remember it. And he's very hunched over. He's walks with a limp.
DeGrasse will say, well, Holly, I wish I could say that you looked as good as you did back in the academy days, but time catches up with all of us, huh?
It's a bitch getting old. You'll be there one day.
Oh, that's true. I'm not too far behind you.
Oh, what are you talking about? You're still a young man.
Yeah, you know how it is. Some of these up-and-coming ensigns and lieutenants, right?
It's good to see one of my proteges becoming a commander so early.
Well, I appreciate that, Holly. It's certainly been a learning experience, but the captain is, well, she's been excellent to learn under. Just as you were.
Yes, it's very fortunate you were placed under Captain Prax.
Oh, come, let's get you off this transporter pad.
Yes, yes.
Let's catch
Ah,
up.
I can't keep up with you, so you're gonna have to slow your step a little bit.
DeGrasse
No more
slows
foot
down.
races in the academy grounds.
DeGrasse slows down, and if he's in that bad a shape, he might take his arm.
Yeah, he is. So you offer his arm, he will take it to kind of use it as balance. So, Commander, what's it like serving on one of the most advanced ships in the fleet?
It's, well, nothing short of amazing. You know, honestly, it's a lot to take in. It's obviously a ship with a lot of power, but it gives us a lot of latitude to do some really amazing things, to solve some really good problems. And to be honest, it's a little exciting to see how fast we can take her.
How do you like the mission profile?
He'll kind of cock his eyebrow. Good. Good. As you might be aware, we're on a bit of an open-ended mission here. Things have been laid back here recently, just doing some planetary scans. But all in all, could be worse.
So it's one of my favorite missions, just getting out into deep space and letting the solar winds take you.
Freedom is a bit intoxicating. It's hard to know where to start. By the way, are you still teaching that was it Bayesian military strategies class at the academy?
Oh no, I had to retire from teaching a few years ago.
Just taking on the work of an admiral, huh?
As much as they'll let me nowadays.
You still enjoy it?
Yeah, but sometimes I wish I could be out here in deep space with the young bucks.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you out here. It's good to see a familiar face.
Yes, but I of course did not come just to catch up. Hey Bart, I'm here in a somewhat official capacity. And when he says that, he kind of straightens up his uniform a little bit.
Well, from an admiral, I would expect nothing less. Shall we go to the conference room?
Sure. And a few minutes pass by, a lot slower, obviously, than it would normally take you to get there. But you eventually make your way into the conference room. Him still using your arm for support.
DeGrasse walks him over to a chair and make sure he's seated, and then DeGrasse will take a seat.
Tell me, Haybar, have you given any thought to your career?
A bit. Yes, I admittedly do kind of take it as it comes, though, Holly. I didn't expect to really be in this position, and it's been a blessing. And, well, I guess I should say I probably haven't given it as much thought as I need to.
Well, if you ask me, I think you should start giving it another thought.
Well, by all means, go on.
I come from the Admiralty Board, Commander. We actually have a proposition for you.
Really?
I've read some of your mission reports, and it has come to our attention that the captaincy of the Tiananmen has come open. I know she's an old ship and long serviced, and we definitely need some young, able-bodied captains for the job. Seeing as though how your name has come up in several of our reports, the Army Board has thought to offer that chair to you, Habar. Should you accept, of course.
DeGrasse leans back in his chair, slouches a bit. Wow. Holly, this is certainly an honor. I've only been a commander for a relatively short time period.
Well, as you can understand, Habar, the war has left some rather big openings, especially in the Captain Commander department. No doubt you understand why you were promoted to commander so quickly.
Well, things do tend to move rapidly, I've seen.
The Dominion War did take its toll on the command staffs.
Well, I don't have to tell you, we've lost a lot of good people that we both know.
But obviously, command is very eager to get the Tiananmen back up and running. We are short ships in this sector, and we want to get another one up and running soon. So, of course, take your time with this, but the offer will not remain open long. We would need an answer within a week. Otherwise, we have to go to our second choice.
Well, I do have to say I'm glad I wasn't the second choice. I was worried you were going to say third. And he kind of nudges him.
Commander, I've followed your career with great interest. It was I who pushed for this so hard in the Admiralty board meeting.
Ollie, I appreciate your support. I always have.
Well, like I said, Commander, there's no rush. You don't have to give me an answer right away. And I'd totally understand if you wanted to stay commanding a ship such as this. Or I should say, as a commander in a ship such as this.
Does Captain Prax know about this?
Not yet. I just received the word myself that they were considering you for this, and I thought I'd race out here and tell you the news in person.
Oh. I don't know what to say. I would be... Give me a few days, Holly.
Informing your captain, of course, is the next on my list, but I understand the captain is away on mission.
She is, yes. She decided to captain the Delta Flyer. I think that she might have missed being at the helm.
Captains and admirals don't get out much for away missions these days. I don't blame her one bit.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about. DeGrasse will kind of motion. Don't know if you're okay for a drink?
I have some time before I have to get on to my next promotion. I do have another ship to visit.
Oh, it would be nice to catch up.
But don't let me keep you, Habor. I'm sure you have much to do. We could meet in your lounge for dinner, I think.
Excellent. I look forward to it. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to get a little more time in the captain's chair. I'll we'll make sure somebody shows you around the ship. And we can meet for dinner.
That sounds perfect. And he stands up and reaches out to shake your hand.
DeGrasse stands up and extends his hand.
Whatever, and he puts his other hand on yours, in like the friendly gesture, and have to hold himself up. Whatever you decide, Habor, congratulations either way.
Just happy to be considered for the job.
Good, good. Now get back to your duties.
Yes, sir. He'll,
And he kind of gives a little grin, being able to give you an order again.
yeah. DeGrasse will turn, head towards the door, and as he steps out on the bridge, let's see here. I'll step out on the bridge and take the seats, and he'll look around, and then he'll say, Ensign Solda, if you don't mind taking a bit of time to see the Admiral around the ship, maybe give him a bit of a tour, and, well, maybe talk a little bit of science shop with him. I'm sure that he'll appreciate it. Would you mind?
You said Solva?
Yes.
Not at all, Commander. And Salva moves to go collect the Admiral. And with that, we'll head back to the flyer. We'll go to a new scene. Okay, Mendrock, you were checking on ship systems.
Yep.
So basically, because of Captain Sprack's dodging, the damage is not as severe as you thought it was. There's some minor damage to the deflector array, and obviously you have to restore main power.
Mhm.
And there's some slight damage to the communications, but nothing you can't fix with time. It's not going to be too difficult.
Alright.
Maybe a day or two getting everything fixed.
Well, Captain, it looks like we're mostly intact. Should be able to fix everything in a day or two that needs fixing.
Let us know what we can do, Commander.
Absolutely.
All right, so yeah, so Nadan, just refresh me what you were looking for, and then Casey, Captain, what were you guys doing during this time? While Mendrock was figuring out what was wrong with the ship.
I was basically running a passive scan of the area to try to determine a bit more about the energy pulse, whether or not it appears to be a natural phenomena here, or if it is instead something directed. Like if the plant-like species is somehow intentionally hostile, or if it's just something that naturally occurs here.
Right. So this is going to how so you're just scanning from in the ship, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm Unless the captain clears it, I'm not going to break the environmental ceiling of the ship. Uh we don't know enough about the local environment.
Okay. So in that case, I gotta make this a diff 5. Reason or insight science. So this is by the ship center science.
Can I activate my Legion of Honor medal to get 2 bonus momentum?
Let me see what that does. Trying to see where
You
you
have to
put the
succeed
medals.
at the task.
Oh,
Get it?
okay. Shoot. Thanks. Uh,
I don't know what your Cochrane Medal of Excellence does.
I also don't. I meant to get it written down, but I don't know where those are. So,
Um, if you select a single focus that you possess that relates to a scientific or engineering field, for what you earn the award with, once per mission, you can, whenever you spend a point of determination on a task that involves the focus, you receive 2 benefits of it instead of 1.
okay.
So if you were to spend your determination for 1 auto success for the auto crit, you would get it twice with the medal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's insane. That's
Yeah,
Really
insanely
good
good.
one.
you literally could get 4 auto successes.
Yeah. I think I'll use that one and spend my determination on this check because I think this is an important check to get.
Right, because I think you had to have a focus with it, though, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I think that was what Prex just said.
That might be the hard part.
Yeah. And I don't think, realistically, I don't think I've gotten a relevant focus here. If I had xenobiology, it would be ideal.
Yep, that it would.
Next time I'm spending
Or botany.
milestones.
Botany would work.
Yeah, I've got geology, but that doesn't really seem relevant. Um, and exotectonics, but likewise. I think I'm gonna look on that, frankly. So then, I won't use the metal. I will spend my determination. You said it's a difficulty 5?
Yes,
What's the complication range?
just normal. So 1.
In addition to spending my determination, I will give you enough threat to get myself 2 extra dice above and beyond what I would
what?
normally roll.
Yeah, what value are you using?
Skeptical of extraordinary findings. I am skeptical that this is a natural phenomenon.
Okay. And then yeah, it'll be 5 threat, but you could roll 4 dice.
Yep. I really hope this ends up being the right decision.
Well, there's your 5 successes, and then you get the ship assist.
Great.
And then you actually gain a momentum from that.
Would have been very sad if I had rolled and it was like all zeros.
Your joint talent allows you to re-roll all of that when you spend determination.
She's not, or you said unjoined?
Not
I am not joined.
Unjoined talent. Your former initiate.
Right.
What
That's
does it
good.
do? What does unjoined do, Prex?
If I recall correctly, it will allow when she spends determination, it allows her to re-roll any number of dice.
I will double check right now. Just while the thing is.
It's only with reason or control or reason, and you spend determination to buy a bonus d20 for that task. You may re-roll your dice pool.
Your dice pool. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you could re-roll that dice if you'd wish.
Sure. Doesn't hurt to get an extra momentum.
Yep, there's 2.
Excellent.
Okay, so you want to know what's going on with the pulse.
Yes.
Well, you start using your sensors to scan around, and you're scanning the different the different plants, and you notice that there are thousands of these plants that appear to be moving. You know, they're not like the typical plant. You could tell that they're definitely plant. They get their energy from the sun through a form of photosynthesis, but you're not detecting any roots, and it seems like they are moving freely on the surface. So you check into that more, and so obviously questions arise. How are they getting their energy and stuff? What it appears, looking at their biology, that this plant species, I'll just put this in there. Because apparently this is real, but I'm not sure how to say that word. But they don't require soil, and they actually have tubules on them that pulls in air nutrients directly from the air. As they're doing that, along with gaining the energy from the sun, each individual one is creating their own pool of energy that keeps building the more that this process happens. And with there being a lot of them, they seem to be basically sucking in a lot of excess energy, more than what each individual one requires.
Okay, so this is basically their biological version of a way to vent waste energy.
Yes. Exactly that.
Neat. Captain, this is very interesting. The plant-like species that is creating those pulses appears to be epiphytic and absorbing energy from its environment. And the pulse that we experienced is its way of venting the waste energy. Obviously hazardous, but fascinating.
Do you think you can come up with a way to modulate our shield so we can resist the effects? That way, in case it happens when we try to leave.
GM, could I do that, or predict what the interval between these vents?
As you and the captain are talking, you in the front, the grass waves, and you see one of these creatures come into view of it's kind of like brushing up against the side, like the front side next to the window, and it's just shuffling along, not really paying attention. It more or less goes around you and heads off toward like the fore of your ship. It walks back into the grass. It kind of just brushes up against your ship for you to see it, and then walks back into the grass.
Can I scan it?
You could try to take out your with you being inside the shuttle, I don't think you'd be able to get a good scan of it with your tricorder.
What about the shuttle sensors?
I mean, you got a pretty good scan of multiples of them with your shuttles already.
Oh, okay.
So the red tubules on it is where it sucks in the nutrients and the water from the air.
Oh, okay. So this is a plant creature.
Yes, and you could definitely tell that it seems to be forming a type of hand, which is that little piece sticking off.
Interesting. So does it have some degree of rudimentary intelligence, or is it just more instinct driven?
That you're not sure yet. That you can't get from your scans. You'd probably have to go outside for that.
Okay. Can we predict how often those vents will occur?
Yes. I think you have a free question, right? Yes. This appears to be building up energy to be released when it turns dark here, which you estimate will happen in a couple hours.
Oh, okay. So the vent happens in darkness. Okay.
Yeah.
The next thing that I will consider is if we can if it's possible to modulate the shields, as the captain asked, to negate the pulse or mitigate it.
That will require you making another task roll to find out what the frequency of the pulse is to, be able to create an inverse shield modulation, like an inverse energy of it to counteract it. So that I'll make that another task roll.
Sure.
A task roll to find and then a task to modulate. So all in all, 2 tasks.
That's good.
All right. So Casey, while that's happening, what were you doing?
I guess waiting to see what was anyone running an environmental conditions scan?
No one was.
Well, I'd like to say that he would be investigating that, but I think my score would be like 8.
Well, this would be a medicine. I would see this as a medicine because you're checking like what the environment is. Like, can you breathe this stuff? That would be probably science or medicine.
If it's medicine in that case, yeah, he'll see if if he goes outside, will it kill him?
Yeah, like most of my sciencey rolls, if it's more like studying like plants and animals, it would be like either like a science or a medicine score because you could do it either way. Same thing with like figuring out the viability of like a breathable atmosphere would either be a science or a medicine score. It just 9 times out of 10 it's Nadon doing it, and she doesn't have the best medicine, so I just always say science. Most of the roles I create have another discipline to use. Sometimes there's no point saying it, if that makes sense.
Yep. So what would the role be then to figure out what's outside?
So this is probably not going to be too difficult. So this is going to be a difficulty 1 roll, and this is insider reason with medicine or science, of course.
Survival for a focus.
Yeah, I'll take survival.
I'll spend a momentum.
You gain it back, and then I'll actually let you use the sensors with medicine. I don't know if the flyer has a medicine score, but
Where is the flyer? All the way at the bottom. Cool. There's medicine.
you get 2 momentum out of that. Casey, it's a oxygen nitrogen atmosphere. You don't detect any toxins or anything negative in the air. You do detect that there is more pollen than what would be like on a normal Earth, like like there's an elevated pollen count, obviously, because it's a planet full of plants. But antihistamine shot, you'll be fine.
Sounds good. In that case, he'll work to prepare some antihistamines.
Yeah, that'll be an
And,
easy task with the flyer.
Yeah, any horrible bugs? Well, I guess I'll find out.
Well, it's grassland, so expect a lot of fly-like creatures.
In that case, Casey will say to the captain, "Sir, with your permission, I think it would be prudent to conduct a reconnaissance of the planet outside at least the area surrounding the shuttlecraft. Although I'm quite hopeful that we'll be out of here shortly, it would be good to at least try and find some potential water or food sources nearby in event of the worst case scenario."
Very well. We're going to be stuck here for at least a couple days. Let's take some precautions.
Yes, sir. Does anyone else want to come on the reconnaissance? Casey has like no science score, so if he sees something, he'll be.
I'll come if you'll have me.
I
Yeah,
know ship
absolutely.
for things.
Yep. Mendrock is busy, and I guess that keeps everyone in accordance with the buddy system then. Yeah, so I guess Nadon and Casey will, well, first we'll administer the antihistamine and then get like standard sort of field kits as well. So like a type 2
Cool.
hand phasers, some like just survival rations, water.
Yep.
Tricorders.
All that you could easily find on here.
And then, head on out after applying the antihistamines.
Okay. So I'll give Mendrock a roll to repair. So what system are you going to be working on first, Mendrock? Oh, Mendrock's gone. All right, so Captain, what are you going to be doing while Casey and Nadon do a little scouting mission?
I'm going to set up a perimeter around the Delta Flare.
Try to smash down some of the grass so you could see.
More like the little beacons that keep things away, if it's even possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I know who's outside, who's inside. Okay. So Mendrock's working on the ship. I'll get back to Mendrock when he comes back. All right. So
the histamine shot is that everyone can take that.
Yeah. Like that's you have a replicator here that's easily replicated. No issues with that stuff. So Casey, Nadon, and the captain step outside, and it's pretty temperate here. It's you'd feel like if you were back on Earth or on your home planet. You feel like it's probably like late summer here. You know, you get that that like late summer, early fall feeling. The sun's just gonna go down soon, so it's not the hottest point of the day, but it's right where it starts to cool off. That sweet point. The sun is low on the horizon, giving you a nice, beautiful sunset. And with it being plains and the grass being about 4 to 5 feet tall, you get a good grasp of the area. This is a vast open plain. Um, you can see several of those plant-like creatures, probably a few hundred of them around you. Um, spread out all throughout the grass. There are obviously some close, but they are ignoring you for the most part. One might get close to you, and one might brush against you, but that's about all it does. Um, but the one thing that you do notice is that you are hearing this type of clicking sound, and and as you sit there and you notice it, and as you move closer or further away from these plantoids, you notice that the clicking is coming from them.
Can I run the clicking noises through the universal translator?
Sure can. What would that be? Probably an engineering role, right?
It really depends. Um, you can
Prax,
go about,
you've run game with communications officers. What role normally would you give them to try to figure out what a language is?
depends on how they're communicating. Could be science, could be engineering, could be con. Usually it's one of those three.
Okay.
So it's whatever you feel like how they're communicating.
Okay, yeah, this is probably more a sciencey thing, I think. So I'll give you a reason science roll. It's a difficulty 3, however. It's the translator currently cannot make heads or tails of what's going on here. It's reading the clicking, it just doesn't know what it is. And while she's doing that, Casey, you can go ahead and give me a insider reason security roll, difficulty 2. Kind of get like a scan of the area, try to see where like important points are. See if you can spot anything within close range, water sources, etc., etc.
And observation for focus, I assume.
Yeah.
would
Yes.
Be good. Awesome. Take a threat. Not need that.
All right. So like I said, this is pretty much a flat plain, but you do notice that there is a small river system that's maybe half a kilometer away from your current location. There's no caves or anything like that. Again, totally grassland.
Okay. And then he'll mention that. Captain, there appears to be a river about half a kilometer from here. It might have some drinkable water.
Do a field study on it in case the replicators go out.
Captain, and he'll start heading in that direction.
Hey, Nadon, you here for your role?
Shoot, sorry, I was on mute. I missed what the role was. Can you repeat that?
It's probably going to be a reason science.
Okay. What was the difficulty you said?
3.
Okay, I'll spend 1 momentum for an extra die.
Nailed it. So Nadon, you open up the universal translator and are trying to fiddle with it a little bit. This is obviously not your area of expertise. But the universal translator is starting to pick up noticeable patterns of a type of language. It's still having difficulty trying to figure out what it is, but you are noticing that it is picking up patterns of language. So, potentially with more time and more study, you might be able to crack the code, so to speak. But you are starting to see some familiar linguistic patterns with the clicks.
Interesting. Knit on to Captain Prax.
She's not far from you. You could yell.
Oh, hey, Captain Prax. They appear to have some sort of language.
Interesting.
I'll keep working on seeing if I can get the translator to decode it. I admit I'm not a linguistics expert.
Understood. Do the best you can, Lieutenant.
Aye, Captain.
All right. So while they were doing that, Mendrock, what were you going to try to repair in the shuttle first?
Let's do communications
Okay.
in case we need to get help.
Yep, that makes sense. Go ahead and give me. Communications are not that badly damaged. Basically a reset. Let's make this control engineering difficulty. I got a lot of threat here. Let's go difficulty 3, complication 2.
All right. Focus some computers.
No, this would be a communications.
Yeah. All right. Let me buy let me buy 1 die. We roll that 1 with cautious.
All right. And you are able to get the communication device working.
Yeah.
Or get communications back online without any issues.
Okay.
Right. And then Casey and Nadon are heading off to check out the water source. Captain Prax, you're setting up like some type of shield grid or
A sonic. Well, it's more of just a little like energy fence around. They keep small critters out just in case there are any.
Okay. Let's make this roll just a control engineering difficulty 2. We'll just make an advantage roll. Or you could spend a 2 momentum, and it's up to you.
I'm just gonna spend the 2 momentum.
So it's time consuming getting everything set up, but you work on that while Mendrock is working on that. And while everyone is doing that, we'll head back to the expedition. Commander, it's probably about dinner time. or probably around the time you agreed to meet the admiral.
So is it a shift changeover yet?
Yeah, it's around dinner time.
Awesome. All right, yeah. So DeGrasse will stay for the, shift changeover, and then he'll head down to, yeah, I guess 10 forward, or the lounge in general, to have dinner.
All right, let me move you there. All right, upon entering the lounge, you notice that it's starting to get busy. Alpha shift is heading off for the evening. People are eating, enjoying the evening. You see Admiral Holland sitting at one of the tables. He has a few drinks in front of him already.
So DeGrasse will walk up and take the seats directly opposite of him and say, well, looks like you've already started without me.
I thought I'd get a head start on you.
Well, you're always a tough one to keep up with.
My days of drinking you under the table, I think, are long over, unfortunately.
Well, maybe I won't be so embarrassed on this round then. He'll turn around and just kind of motion for service. So, what did you think?
You got a mighty fine ship here, Ablar. It's definitely going to be difficult to leave.
Yes, it would be. It's great ship and great crew. Always makes for a hard decision. So Holly, remind me, did you ever captain a ship?
I've captained a few fine ships in my time.
How did you make the decision?
Well, for me, it was rather easy. Commanding a starship is something I have always wanted to do. I basically took the first opportunity it was afforded to me.
Well, and I do understand that once they ask once and you turn them down, they rarely ask again. Although, I guess that was before the war.
Yes, a few years ago, you commanders would have been fighting for these open positions. Nowadays, we don't seem to have enough to fill the demand. Starfleet keeps pumping out new ships, and we're doing everything we can to find qualified officers to command them. It's gotten so bad we had to put some lieutenant commanders in some of our smaller vessels. When was the last time you've seen that?
Oh, it's quite the career trajectory. Lieutenant commander as a captain. That's interesting. But with that said, I know more than a few on this ship that could definitely do the job. Well, what are you drinking, Holly?
I thought this would be a special occasion. And he reaches into a small bag and he pulls out some Irish whiskey. Figured I'd bring the good stuff this time.
That you did. I'm impressed.
It's a very good year.
Oh, take your word for it.
This is the real stuff, Habar. None of that synthale stuff. Irish whiskey, aged in a barrel. Very smooth coming down.
So you offer me a job and then you try to get me in trouble. Classic Holly.
The more things change, Habar, the more they seem to stay the same. So tell me, what's new with you other than getting the job offer of a lifetime?
Well, just moving right along. I mean, been doing some reading and trying to get into better shape. I've been doing a bit of phaser practice here lately.
I always found your phaser work a little lacking. It's a
you're
good
one to
thing
talk.
It's a good thing you were a scientist.
Oh, you're one to talk.
I could hold my own if I need to.
Well, I have seen you do that before. But we've got a good security officer on the ship. He's been making sure to give me a little bit of training.
You get to use it much out here in the frontier?
Well, we try to do what we can to avoid it, but yeah, we probably get to use it a little more often than maybe I expected.
Space is dangerous sometimes.
Well, we wouldn't have taken the job unless we liked it, huh? What about you, Admiral? What's new with you?
The brass at command are keep pushing me to retire.
Well, it's getting about that time, huh?
That's what they keep saying. I just can't seem to bring myself to give this up.
Well, when you're meant to do something, it's hard to stop doing it.
It's what I keep saying. Can you really see me settling down on some off-world planet somewhere?
Oh, come on. Get a little house on Ryza, sip some drinks. Wouldn't be too bad.
Retirement's for the old, Commander. I got a few good years left in me.
That's true. Based on your past years, I wouldn't doubt you have a few good years. Just don't be out there doing any phaser work, huh?
No, I leave that to the young. Eddie kind of gives you a nice grin.
Age is relative, Holly. Sometimes with all these new ensigns and lieutenant junior grades, it's well, I've gotten used to being the old man in the room,
Well, the young guns surely look up to the pips on your collar for that experience. And I know no one better to lead them.
Well, you've always been the salesman.
You do have a mighty fine ship here, Habar. Mighty fine crew.
Well, that they are.
And it's good to see a ship so lively again.
DeGrasse glances around. Yeah, we have some good times.
I see ships like this, I see crews interacting the way yours does. And I say to myself, this is why we're out here. Serving on a ship like this in the far reaches of space were the best years of my life, Habar.
Well, it kind of sounds like you might be trying to promote me out of my position, and wouldn't be surprised if you busted rank a couple times. Sounds like you're wanting to get back on a ship.
The Potemkin is plenty ship for me. Seems to be my own private cruiser nowadays.
Well, I always heard that admirals rolled around in style.
Potemkin is a fine ship. I'm sure the crew wishes to do something more than cart this old fart around.
You know how it is. Straighten up a little more when the admiral comes on ship. Watch their P's and Q's a little more closely. They like having you there.
Yeah, but there are days I wish I was young again. To just be one of them.
Well, don't we all?
They definitely treat you different when they put that rank on your collar. That's probably the thing I miss most about Starfleet, the camaraderie you get from a bond with your shipmates.
Well, I can certainly drink to that. Hopefully he's poured the Irish whiskey at this point.
He definitely has.
Gross will pick up the glass. Say, it's as good as any. To camaraderie.
Camaraderie, Habar. It's good to see you again.
You as well. DeGrasse will knock the drink back.
And just around that time is when your food that you ordered comes. And you and your old instructor basically talk and chat the night away. While we head back to the flyer. All right. So, Captain, you finish setting up your perimeter to keep things away. Mendrock, what were you going to be working on next?
I don't remember what else reinforcing the engines.
I think there was a deflector array damage. I think main power, I think I said.
Okay. Yeah, let's do the main power.
Okay, this one is probably going to be an extended task. Let's go ahead and make this diff 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this a diff 4 daring or control with engineering, work 18, magnitude 4, resistance 2. Captain, if you are not doing anything else while he's working on that, you can assist if you wish.
Alright, so
My
EPS systems for
Yes. Yeah,
focus?
this would be a power, yeah.
Spend my determination. Value trust me, I'm an engineer.
Works for me.
and I'll buy a second die. And complication range is 1.
Yes.
Alright. Alright. Roll that with cautious.
You didn't roll your third dice.
Oh. Sure.
All right. So that's 5 successes I'm counting. Like I said, Captain, you can assist if you were not doing anything else if you wish. Up to you.
I can give it a go. Oh, I was afraid of that.
Ouch. Okay, so you do succeed. We do have a complication. So Mendrak, go ahead and roll the 7 challenge dice. But as for the complication, what do I want to do with the complication? Well, let's take care of your roll first, and then I'll decide complication. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 work, -2, so that's 7 work. Do you have anything crazy that affects or anything do?
Yep. I have in the nick of time. So I get additional work for every effect.
All right, 1, 2. So
And-
that brings you up to
Yeah.
10. So
you
I've
have-
got 8.
Don't forget Miracle Worker.
Yeah, miracle worker too.
And that's the extra breakthrough rate.
Yep.
All right, with the captain's assistance.
Oh, hold on. One sec. Can I spend my Legion of Honor medal to? Actually, no, I'm one of these two in the main role. So. I don't know if you'll take the Legion of Honor medal to avoid the complication. But since I'm assisting,
Let's see what the Legion of Honor says.
once per mission, the character may do one of the following: gain 2 bonus momentum on a successful task, or ignore a single complication suffered on a task declared before the game master announced the complication's effect.
I'm fine with that.
I will do
Okay. So Mendrak, you and the captain go about trying to restore power to the ship. It's pretty obvious the captain has not been in engineering in a while. But but with your expert in helping the captain through it, you don't lose any time doing this. So you're able to basically tell the captain, "No, captain, I need you to do this. No, captain, right there, that conduit, that panel, please."
I'm just gonna hold the light. That's what I'm gonna do.
Use my tool.
Right? Yeah. It probably goes down to the captain's just handing you tools, but so yeah. So it's just a difficulty to work 10 mag 2 resist 2.
So I'll buy. I'll use the momentum for a third die. And turn him. Revolver of 0. Oh, nothing. Alright.
Right, then just need the captain's assist. There you go. Get a momentum out of it.
Oh.
You're handing him the correct tools finally. You know, a few hours working on getting main power restored. You start figuring out which tool is which. Go ahead and roll your challenge dice, Mendrak. So right now I have you doing 5, which is actually enough. Damn, you're a character built for extended task.
Yep.
So with your expertise, you notice that the main power systems are not as damaged as you originally thought. And with your expertise in the electric systems, you're able to bypass a few of the trouble spots, and you're able to get main power restored probably 6 hours earlier than you thought you would.
Excellent. Well, I have main power and communications online, Captain.
That's good work, Commander. I guess we're not sleeping under the stars tonight.
Not unless you really want to.
All right. So while they're doing that, Casey and Nadon, you eventually make your way over to um, the small river system. Were you doing anything on the way there?
I'd be taking some samples of creatures that we don't suspect of being sapient, as well as soil.
All right. Yeah, that's
Uh,
pretty easy to do if you're taking your time.
Yeah, and also keeping my tricorder recording and scanning the clicks
Right.
from the creatures.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a difficulty 3, that same reason science task, to see if you could adjust your tricorder further to help with the language.
All right, I will spend I'll spend a momentum.
Get the momentum back. Too bad you didn't have a focus, man.
Yeah.
So you're letting your tricorder, continually monitor the language, working on what you can. And when you're about to reach the river, the your tricorder beeps, and it seems to have picked up a little bit of the language. It doesn't have all of it yet, but what it is translating on your tricorder seems to be chatter. If you didn't know any better, well, what is popping up on the tricorder just seems to be like everyday questions that you'd hear in a busy market, so to speak. Like, how are, like some word you don't recognize. How are you doing? How's a word you don't recognize? Are you ready for sundown type stuff? Like just basic everyday, what you would think is just chit chat, is what's appearing on your tricorder, translating the clicks.
Neat.
It's obviously doesn't have all of it yet, but it seems to be picking up some stuff.
So,
yeah,
based on
just
this, we could probably assume that these creatures are at least somewhat sapient.
yeah. Probably more sapient than you realize, I would say. I mean, they seem to have a full language.
Okay. I will make note of that and continue.
And then, yeah, probably right when you finish with that, you and Casey make it to the riverbed. I'll leave some role play open for you two.
What's the river like? Is it like a nice river or like, I don't know, like a brown kind of looking sludgy?
It's maybe maybe 10 to 20 feet wide in spots. It's not very wide, it's not very big. And the clearness of the river depends on like what the spot it's in. You know, sometimes you can see sediment in it, but in other spots, it is really clear that where you can see to the bottom of it. It's not very deep, maybe a foot or two. You know, there's rocks sticking out of it all over the place. It's pretty nice. It's pretty scenic. The grass does tend to lower near the river, so you could see more open. You know, the grass is maybe a foot high near the river as you get close to the river, as opposed to the 4 to 6 feet where you landed. And you still see a few hundred of those those plant creatures. Still shuffling, moving, clicking.
Right.
You'll see a rodent or two run across. You'll maybe catch what looks like a type of deer drinking downstream. Birds in the sky. The typical grassland stuff. You've had to swat away a few flies and a few bugs here and there.
Casey will turn to Nadon. Lieutenant, perhaps we should take some samples and run some scans on this water. Hopefully if it's not drinkable already, hopefully we are able to purify it enough that it is.
That's a good idea, Commander. As well, I should let you know we have a partial translation of the language of those plant creatures. They appear to be sapient.
You have any idea what they're saying?
Mostly chatter. They're gossip, really.
And they appear friendly.
They don't appear hostile. I can say that.
Well, nevertheless, that complicates our security situation. Let's try to get back to the ship in a timely manner. While we're here, perhaps as well we can look for some sort of edible plant matter.
Hi, Commander.
All right, so scan the river to see if it's drinkable. It's probably going to be a reason medicine. Just probably a diff 2. Nadon, if you want to look for edible plants, it's probably going to be a difficulty 3. No, difficulty 2. Reason science.
Can I assist with these?
Well, I figured, Casey, you'd be using your medicine to check the river, and then
sorry, I
Nadon,
missed that.
yeah, then Nadon would be searching for the plants.
So it's insight medicine for the river?
Insider reason, yeah.
And difficulty was 2?
2, yeah.
Right. And survival for focus?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll spend the 1 momentum. Ew.
Oh, wow.
Oh. 2 20s. The water is just friggin' liquid uranium.
Are you letting him stand?
I don't know what I can do. We have no momentum. I spent my determination.
Okay. So you go to scan the river, and normally this river would be drinkable. However, there is a dead animal, like actual animal, dead inside the river that has contaminated it, therefore rendering it undrinkable.
Do I have the location of this dead animal?
You're not sure where it's at, but you could tell that it's polluted a good portion of the river.
Well,
If we go upstream, we may be able to get to unpolluted water.
Yeah, it's far upstream though, with the complications.
Shoot. Okay.
These double complications.
Yeah, it's definitely where the animal died is upstream, and you're not sure how far upstream, but scanning in both directions, it goes up pretty far. Especially with nighttime quickly approaching, you're not sure if you want to be outside in this.
Oh, sorry. What was the temperature going to be?
Well, it's not so much the temperature. You're not sure what'll happen
The
with the
Oh.
cold.
energy pulse.
Yeah.
Right.
At least I mean, you're welcome to stay outside in it if you want. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
thanks.
that would be a Casey move, but
I mean, to
I'm
me,
good.
you'd guys would be like, okay, we got to get back before dark, which is probably good on a weird planet anyway.
unfortunately, this water can't be drinking in its current state. The water on this planet, I gather, is drinkable. However, this particular source has been contaminated.
I wonder if we could bring it back to the replicator and at least use its mass. Maybe recycle it into something more potable.
Yes, perhaps. Hopefully, Mendrock has made good progress on our main power systems, at least, and we shouldn't have to worry about it.
Hopefully, yes. Liking that, maybe we'll get lucky and it won't cause damage to a ship that's powered down.
Okay. So are you guys heading back? Are you remaining, doing other things?
Be heading back, I guess.
Okay.
Scan for plant life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I missed
yes.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, I
in that
failed
case,
that.
yeah, we're returning.
Yeah, I didn't say the results. Sorry. Yeah, you didn't find anything that you think would be edible. It's a lot of like sage grasses, sage bushes here. If they do have berries, it's definitely not in season. So you head back. It probably takes you a good time to get back, and you could tell like when you get back, the sun's about to set, and you are noticing that the plant creatures are becoming more active as it's getting closer to nighttime. The clicking noise is definitely increasing, and the planetoids appear to be amassing nearby. Like they're shuffling towards a point.
What does the translator say they're chattering about now?
I am about to give you another roll because traffic increased greatly. So this is only going to be a difficulty 2 roll because of the amount of traffic of just chatter traffic. So it's a little easier to pinpoint. You have more to pull from. So go ahead and give me that reason sign stiff 2 roll. Yes, testing the theory is a thing. Yes. So diff 1.
And an extra die because theory into practice.
Yes. All right, gain a momentum. Oh no, 2 momentum. So this time, your tricorder has finally pretty much flushed out the language. The very few words does the tricorder not understand now, and a lot of the references you're getting is it's almost time. We gotta hurry. we're not gonna make it. Hurry up, hurry up. Grab the something, which you maybe assume is kids. They're very much like they're trying to get to a point. They're all trying to shuffle and get somewhere. And you are noticing that there are more of them in the general area around the shuttle. Moving past you toward where your craft is pointing at. But you did notice that where there were 100 before, there might be a 300 now. Like, it's really starting to get more and more of these creatures located around you. And you probably estimate that this pulse might go off based on where you think the cycle was in the last time, in roughly 30 minutes or so.
I will tell that to the commander. We have about 30 minutes until the pulse goes off.
To Casey?
Sorry?
I said we have about 30 minutes until the pulse goes off, Commander.
Oh, thank you, Lieutenant. Sorry, I think my sound cut out.
Yeah, and you're not far from the shuttle at this point. You're 50 meters.
We'll I think we should head in the shuttle and see what happens from in there.
And you quickly head back into the shuttle and board, closing the door behind you. Captain and Mendrak, you probably just finished with the power at this point.
Commander?
Oh,
Lieutenant?
no. Easy. Who's that?
Captain. Fortunately, the water we found would normally be drinkable. However, it's contaminated, and we weren't able to find any edible plant matter that's at least presently in season.
Mendrak was able to get main power back online and communications restored.
Excellent news.
Commander, I thought you should, or Captain, I thought you should know we were able to decipher the creature's language. Almost entirely, actually. They appear to be sentient. And they are gathering in advance of the next pulse. It seems to be an important event for them.
I see. And how far away are we?
The pulse, Captain?
Yes.
Approximately 30 minutes, somewhat less than that by now, I would say.
A distance.
Oh, distance. They're approximately 1 kilometer from here, Captain.
Do you think there's any danger to the ship if we remain here and the pulse goes off? If we modulate the shields to withstand the pulse?
Well, Captain, we found the frequency that would modulate it. We haven't yet seen if we could implement that on the flyer, to my knowledge. Unless Mendrock managed to do it while the commander and I were away. Without having a chance to implement that on the shields, it's hard to say.
Mendrock, what's the status of the impulse engines?
Jim?
You could get the impulse engines back online. The issue is the deflector damage.
Yeah. You can get the impulse engines online, but I still need to repair the deflector.
Let's go ahead and modulate the shields. Hopefully, won't cause any further damage to the flyer.
Alright, Captain. In case you want to do the modulation, or I can.
Trying to see what the roll is. I believe it's a security roll, but I'm double checking. Yeah, it's a modulate shields is a security roll. So
Control
it probably
security.
would be. Yeah, be control security. Base difficulty 2, assisted by structure engineering, but I am going to make this a difficulty 3, complication 2.
Okay. I'll spend our momentum and take a threat.
And then I just need the shuttles. It's actually structure engineering for some reason.
Oh,
What's your engineering score?
it's 1. So no, it's not. It's a miss.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be structure security too, but no, it's a structure engineering. Weird. Okay, so you still get the successes though. I said it's diff 3, so you get 2 out of that. And yeah, Casey, you are successfully able to modulate your shields to the inverse of that energy pulse that you encountered earlier.
Awesome.
All right, so time passes by, and Nadan, you notice that that the clicking noise is starting to get louder and more frequent, and it seems to be, saying the same thing. From what you could gather, it's basically saying something like, "The time has come. It is time to give up the energy we have gained, so that those on the other side may have the energy they need to survive the night, or so that the others on the other side may have what they need, that which they need for life." And that kind of repeats, almost like a ritual saying, so almost. And you are monitoring the energy buildup that these creatures are generating. And as the sun finally peaks behind the horizon, you see on your sensors the final buildup. And for those looking out of the flyer's front window, you see that this brilliant, bright light of energy shoots up from the ground and into the sky, hitting the upper atmosphere. As you notice on the planet, a shockwave from the energy, as soon as it hits the atmosphere, starts to fan out in all directions from that point. And within, a few minutes, the beam of light dissipates, You know, a shockwave comes and hits over the shuttle, but your shield modulations work. And within a few moments, it is over. And you know, you hear the chanting settle down and stop. And you hear the chanting, you hear the the voices say again, we have done our duty for this day. We come back tomorrow after we've had our fill type stuff. And
Interesting.
you notice that the plant species is starting to disperse, and you know, you start seeing, you know, more come your way, and as they dissipate, you know, a lot of them are starting to hit your ship. You know, and they're kind of ignoring it. You do hear a couple things say, when did this rock get here? You know, so they notice that it's here now, but you know, they just say it's a rock.
It appears that that's some sort of a ritual for these people.
Interesting. Well,
They-
Lieutenant, you can continue your study on them in the morning.
Hi, Captain.
I suggest all of us get a good night's rest.
Right, and I'll head back to the expedition. Commander, you and Admiral Holland, you know, you finished your meal. You've pretty much drank almost the entire bottle. You know, you're laughing, talking, having a good time. DeGrasse is back, right? Yes. When the bridge comes down to you, bridge to Commander DeGrasse.
DeGrasse just kind of looks up at Holly. Taps his badge. Yes, this is Commander DeGrasse.
We've yet to receive a status update from the Alpha Flyer.
When were they supposed to report in?
About an hour ago, sir. It's standard procedure to wait, but I thought we'd raise the alarm. Or it's procedure to wait the hour, but that hour has passed, sir.
All right. Any understanding of their last known whereabouts?
Their last known coordinates were entering a planetoid system about 5 light years away.
GM, how drunk is DeGrasse right now?
Well, you figure you and the Admiral split half a bottle of whiskey, so probably pretty good.
Yeah. All right, screw it. Bridge, I'll be right up.
Aye, Commander.
Well, Admiral, as you know, there's not really any downtime.
Command does look good on you, Habar.
Well, I'm sure it would look a little bit better if my lips weren't a little tingly right now. Do you need to make it back to the Potemkin, or?
Eventually. I'm sure I could get one of your ensigns to escort me back to the transporter. I guess I do need to be 2 sectors over in 10 days.
Well, it is your choice. You're more than welcome to stay on the expedition.
I wish I could, Habar, but unfortunately duty calls for me as well.
Understood.
And a missing shuttle might take longer than I realized.
Understood.
So he slowly gets up out of the chair. Well, Habar, let me know what you decide.
I'll let you know as soon as I have a decision, Holly.
Very good. Edson, escort me to the transporter pad. And I can't remember his name. Says, right away, Admiral.
Orgel,
Orgel.
take care of this one.
Yes, sir. Right this way, Admiral.
Be well, Holly.
You as well.
DeGrasse stands up, kind of palm straightens his uniform out a little bit.
Zips it back up, probably. Puts the top back on.
Yeah. And then he'll gingerly head towards the bridge.
And on the bridge, you appear.
He'll say, Khan, time to the last known coordinates of the Delta Flyer.
Should reach there in an hour.
All right.
I'm not sure how long 5 light years takes. Speed of plot, 1 hour.
All right. Let's get there as quickly as we can.
Hi, Commander. On your orders.
Engage.
And we'll speed a plot for you to get there. When you drop out of warp, you see a sensors detects a energy pulse coming from the 5th planet. And when they pull it up on screen, you see the pulse that I described enter into space and then dissipate.
Instant Salva, what was that?
Unknown, Captain. It appeared to be an energy pulse emanating from the 5th planet. I have tracked the shuttle's ion trail, Commander. It leads directly to that planet.
How long ago was the shuttle heading towards that planet?
Estimate 12 hours, Commander.
Well, can you tell me if we would have any trouble if we were to be hit by that energy pulse?
A simple shield modulation should protect us from any future pulses.
Well, work with Coda. Make sure we have it done. And then take us closer.
Aye, Commander. Entering standard orbit, sir. Scanning planet now, Commander. I have located the flyer on the planet's surface.
Does it appear to be intact?
It does, Commander. I'm reading 4 life signs and the same shield modulation that I have prescribed for the expedition.
Well, if I know anything, that'd be the Chief's work. Is there any power aboard the shuttle? Everything seems to be operational.
Main power is online. However, I am reading a damaged deflector.
All right. Any way to communicate with the surface, Silva?
On the shuttle.
She hits the captain reaches over and hits the button.
And on one of the view screens, you see DeGrasse.
Captain, taking a bit of unanticipated shore leave?
Just setting down on a planet's surface to conduct some minor repairs and study of an alien culture.
Oh, is everything all right, Captain?
For the time being. Just need to finish
Okay.
repairs on the deflector array. We were just about to turn in for the night.
Well, the expedition would be happy to send any assistance, but sounds like you might enjoy having a little time off ship, Captain. Or we can, of course, get you up here as quickly as possible.
I think Lieutenant Nidan would like the opportunity to study this alien race further.
Well, I'm glad you're all safe, Captain.
Apologies that we missed our check-in. Did not realize the time had passed by that quickly.
Well, I knew, given your attention to regulations, sir, that you guys had likely found yourselves in a bit of a bind, but it wouldn't be too much for you all to handle. Your orders, Captain?
Keep the expedition at a safe distance. The indigenous population emits during sundown a particular burst of energy.
Oh, it sounds interesting, I'm sure. Lieutenant, well, I'm sure she's eager to learn more, as you said. But understood, Captain. Should we send down any supplies, anything you need?
I believe we have everything well in handed.
Okay. Understood, sir. We'll keep the expedition at a safe distance and, well, Let us know tomorrow, Captain.
Will do, Commander. Oh, how is Admiral Holland?
Well, feeling his age a little bit, but all in all, not too bad, Captain. He, well, let's just say I'm eager to get your thoughts when you get back to the expedition.
Understood.
Enjoy your night, Captain. Expedition out.
She nods and closes the channel.
And the screen goes back to the Starfleet insignia.
Mindrock, how long do you think it'll take you to repair the deflector dish?
Can't. A few hours, Captain, perhaps at most 6 or less.
Very well. Have a good night.
Rest well, Captain.
Take watch at the the helm operations and just kind of.
Yep. And I think that's actually going to be a good place to end the episode. For a nice little to be continued. Potential